I work as a racecourse photographer at Sha Tin, Hong Kong. Every race day, I stand at the third bend, the outer perimeter of the turf, a restricted zone where no one else is allowed. After the 7th race of the 4th season, I was back in my studio reviewing hundreds of shots, deleting the blurry ones and flagging the winners. I stopped at a wide-angle shot of the horses rounding the bend. In the background, right behind the railing where I had been standing alone, there was a man. He was standing on the grass, facing my lens. I zoomed in until his face filled the screen. He had a perfectly normal face except for one thing. Where his eyes should have been, there was only smooth, flat skin. No sockets, no lids, just a seamless stretch of flesh. Sha Tin is a massive, loud place, filled with the roar of thousands. But that specific spot at the third bend has a silence that feels unnatural, like the air is swallowing the sound of your own footsteps. I once mentioned this to an old staff member who'd been there for decades. He told me that bend had a history, that something happened there a long time ago, but he wouldn't elaborate. I didn't think much of it until that photo appeared. I showed the file to a veteran news photographer, thinking it was a digital glitch or a lighting artifact. But he told me the metadata was clean, the image was raw. There was no technical explanation for a face with no eyes. I kept working the season, and he kept appearing. In the 8th and 9th races, nothing. Then, in the 10th, he was there again in the same spot, but his body had turned. In the first photo, he was in profile, but now he was at a 3/4 angle, facing more toward the camera. By the 12th race, he was standing completely square to the lens. I realized that over the course of several weeks, he had been physically rotating himself, degree by degree, to align perfectly with my position. He wasn't just standing there, he was tracking me. I went back to the old staff member and showed him the sequence. He wasn't surprised. He told me I wasn't the first to capture this. Years ago, another photographer saw the same man, but in those photos, the man was facing the camera from the very start. That photographer quit after finding his memory cards wiped clean by something he couldn't explain. The man in the photos was apparently a former horse trainer who had been a passionate photographer before his career change. He died in an accident on that very stretch of grass decades ago. The old man told me, "Maybe he just wants to see what you're shooting." I went back to my studio and lined up the 3 photos on one monitor. That's when the real chill set in. Even without eyes, his face had a clear direction. In every single shot, no matter where I moved my tripod to get the best angle of the horses, his faceless head was pointed precisely at my lens. He wasn't watching the race. He was watching me through the glass. He hasn't appeared since the end of that season, and the 14th race was completely empty, but the experience changed me. I have this involuntary habit now. Every time I open a new photo on my computer, whether it's a wedding or a landscape, my eyes don't look at the subject. They immediately dart to the background, scanning the empty corners and the blurred distances to make sure the space is truly empty before I dare to look at what's in front of me. Go back and look at your own photos, not the selfies or the portraits, but the background. Look at the empty hallways, the windows behind you, or the far edge of the park. We spend our lives focusing on the foreground, assuming the rest of the world is just scenery. But have you ever really checked the parts of the frame where no one is supposed to be? You might have looked at those pictures 1,000 times and never noticed someone standing there, waiting for you to finally zoom in.
The story has ended, but they have noticed you now. You are already deep within the hollows, to ensure you find your way back, or perhaps to ensure you never leave. You must mark your presence. Like the shadow you saw, share the whispers you heard, and if you are truly brave, subscribe to Midnight Hollows, because some things only exist in the dark. See you next midnight.